it's recording.
So let's go through some of the features on this Protean. It must be remembered that the Protean has more features than any other head in its price bracket. In fact, it has some features not available on any other remote head on the market. So the basic features are smooth, pan and tilt, and it's absolutely silent. And when I mean silent, it makes no noise at all because there's nothing in there to make a noise. The thing you hear most are cables dragging across here, so you can use it in orchestras, in sound studios, anywhere where you need silence. It has lens drivers on the front for standard broadcast lenses. These both drive the lens, zoom, iris and focus, and return the zoom position back to the head so it can be used in the profile move generator. It has tally lights top and front if you want them. On the back of the head it has a power supply for a camera. It has an RJ45 which can link directly to the base for using network control of a camera. It has a route through for HDSDI and a return route for Genlock, and also some optional connections here for CCU control of a camera, for example. On the front there's another optional socket that can be placed instead of this tally light, and this can be used to drive lens servos such as the PD lens servos or our own lens servos. Here are the base sockets on this particular Protean. On the left here we have an IP module fitted, so this particular head can be controlled over an IP network. This socket here is power and data, RS485 data that is. The D sub produces metadata in 3D format, and also is the socket where you can input 3D format data as a control data for motion control. You can also input DMX into this for control, or our own M-star protocol. This is the HDI output which is looped down from the top of the head, and this is the Genlock path which loops up to the top of the head. In this position here on this particular head we have an RJ45. This is just looped through to the top, so a camera CCU can be controlled over an IP type control. Alternatively, we can fit two ST fiber sockets on here and put fiber modules inside. We can output pictures up to 12 gigs on the fiber module, and also we can put control back to the head on the other fiber. So I'm just going to power the head up and you can watch it homing. I'm also going to be very, very quiet while it does this so you can hear the complete lack of noise. Here we go. It's going to start its homing routine, and on the display on the side it tells you what it's doing, and here it is doing its homing. Here we can see the diagnostic display. It's telling you what the head is doing. This is the boot up sequence where it's aligning the motors and homing them. It's now set up, ready for use. It's got 16-bit encoders on the actual shafts. So the metadata that comes out here is accurate to 0.005 degrees and can be used to pin graphics on a moving shot. It has no backlash at all. There is no backlash in the mechanics, and if it gets knocked out of position, watch, it goes straight back to where it was. And we'll demonstrate that here. Straight back to where it was. This display shows a host of information. Here it's showing the protocol coming in, the head number, the DC in voltage, and telling you that everything's okay. You can cycle through a number of pages of information, very useful for diagnostics if something's happening and you don't quite understand it or you need to call for support. So this particular head has a couple of options fitted. It has the optional front tally light here instead of the lens data output. It has slip rings fitted so it can do continuous 360 and has a 3G signal path through the slip rings terminating at the base. As it has slip rings, it has no requirement for the hard pan stop on here, but it has soft stops in both directions. You can also make the head wider with this 50mm wide adapter, and we have a wider camera plate to accommodate that. We can also have a longer drop arm to accommodate larger cameras. Some of the features that are available internally are not available on any other head. It has 64 preset positions for pan, tilt, zoom and focus. Each of these preset positions is automatically associated with a pre-programmed move to that preset position. These moves are user adjustable. You can adjust the ramp up, the ramp down, the total time of the move, and all axes are synchronized to do the move in the same amount of time. You can also separate the zoom start and stop. So for a lot of shots you don't want the zoom to start at the same time as the pan and tilt. You might want it to start later or earlier, and you might want it to finish later or earlier. All these things can be programmed from the multifunction controller. The head can operate on various control protocols. It can be used as a fully motion controlled head using 3D as a control protocol. It always outputs 3D metadata, so you can use it for graphics. It can be controlled by DMX, the lighting control system, so it can be fully integrated into a lighting driven show computer. It also can have various camera CCU protocols put inside. One of the popular ones is Sony, so you can control a Sony camera direct from the head via the standard data interface. Hitachi, Panasonic, JVC are other camera protocols that we can install inside the head. The head can be used in standard orientation like this, or it can be inverted and hung from the ceiling. When it's inverted, you generally need a riser, and this head is designed to be hung inverted. So in conclusion, if you need a remote head that can do pretty much anything, the Protean is the one to go for.